Okay, good. Hi, everybody. This is Jean Ketcham, Aging But Dangerous, and I have with me today one of my favorite people in the whole world, Barb Greenberg. Hi, Barb.
Hi, Jean.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to have you. Barb is founded an organization called Rediscovering U. And we will talk about that a little later, but you have also written 4 books, and you are an award-winning author, which I think is so fabulous. And we just talked before we went on that you are dancing, you're taking dance lessons, so we'll have to know more about that. But anyway, Barb, I'm so excited to talk to you today. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. You are fabulous. You're an inspiration. How can you not be an inspiration? You're an inspiration to so many women. So I'm really thrilled that I'm here.
Well, thank you. And you have been the same. All right, so read it. Okay, well, first of all, tell me about your books. I know that, I've read some of them, but what are the names of your books?
The first one is called Hope Grew Round Me, and it came about because my daughter had been in a life-threatening accident halfway around the world, and I came back to the state, and she's a miracle. She's a miracle child, and I'd never written anything in my life. I was in my 50s, and a friend of mine who has written quite a few books said, um, uh, boy, we had lunch and together, and she said, boy, there's a lot of things in your story that could help a lot of people. You might want to consider um, writing something. I was like, okay, I'll do that. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah,
And I found in my 50s something that I absolutely love to do. So
good.
that's the first one. Yeah. And the second one is called After the Ball, A Woman's Tale of Reclaiming Happily Ever After, which is
And
a
that one's great.
This is just a hoot because I went through this phase where I got really irritated with fairy tales and happily ever afters.
Yeah, yeah,
And so it's about Cinderella and Snow White later. The prince doesn't work out so well.
yeah.
And there's things in there like, Snow White talks about, I fell down. I ate that bite of apple and then I fell over and like, why did I wait for somebody else to get me up? I could have gotten up. What's the big deal? Um, and then the award-winning one was it's called Seasons of Divorce: Insights for Women in Transition, and it ends up um, all sorts of women respond to it. It's little articles with questions after each article about transitions. Because, and I have a friend that's like, she's been married 50 years. She said, I love to journal. I read an article every day, and then I use the questions as journaling prompts. So
Hmm.
it's because everybody's going through transitions, and sometimes they're very
Right.
frightening, very
Right.
uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, that's an easy word.
Yeah.
And then uh, the fourth one, it's not quite done yet. It's not quite done yet, so I don't want to give away any secrets, but uh, it started out as a fairy tale about Sleeping Beauty because she just lays there, that poor girl, she just
Yeah.
doesn't move. And I realized, and then my younger daughter said, "Oh, that should just be a regular book. That shouldn't be a fairy tale." And because part of it is, the story is she's born, and the fairies come and give her all these little gifts, but they give her things like, "You're going to be so sweet, and you're going to be so pretty, and you can sing and dance." And the
Yeah.
crabby fairy, gets very upset. And the crabby fairy in my version is, she goes, if those are the only gifts you're going to give her, for sure she's not going to make it because you're not giving her self-esteem and courage and curiosity and
Yeah.
adventure and all those things.
Yeah.
So it goes on from there. But it's
Okay.
so I'm turning it into like a book, like not a fairy tale, but a
Yeah.
story.
Well, that sounds fabulous. And of course, everybody needs to know your background. You started this organization, Rediscovering you with the letter U, and it was started out to be for divorced women. Now, you got a divorce. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you get your divorce? And I know that was like
I
Great.
was, yeah, I was over, I- time, it was over 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And at that time, and during that time, I was writing the first book. And uh, and I realized that during my divorce, I felt like I was drowning. And I wanted to reach back and kind of pull other women up onto dry land, if you use that. So I didn't realize I had started a business. Um, I would do some workshops. I would do, a couple talks, and then we started to do a monthly dinner. We found Biaggi's was still opened in the Eden Prairie Mall, this lovely restaurant. You walked in on the left, there was a meeting room. It was the wine room, but not the like wine room. And so once a month we would meet for dinner, and during dinner you could go around and share your story. And it was wonderful because people didn't feel so alone. They felt supported. It gave them hope and encouragement. And then we would bring in a guest speaker every month. So the
Mhm.
first one we did was we brought in a mediator to speak after dinner. And, and I turned to the waiter. I said, "How much longer can we be in the room?" And he said, "The restaurant closed 20 minutes ago."
Oh my gosh.
So everybody, including the speaker, we all walked out into the parking lot, and nobody wanted to disconnect from each other. Nobody wanted to leave. And I drove home. I was physically, I was vibrating. I was like, "Oh, this is very important. This is very important." So that's how we started. And
So were these women that were they getting divorced? Were they interested in getting divorced or what?
oh, that's a good question. It was for everybody, whether you were approaching divorce, you knew you needed to leave, but you didn't know what to do when you were scared, and can I, and what do I do? And if there's a tail, excuse me, that's my assistant, that's my cat. um, if you were in the midst of divorce and overwhelmed, or if you were moving forward from divorce, and sometimes there's still issues, either legal issues, financial issues, emotional issues. Um, my favorite story is at one of our meetings, there was a gal who had come for the first time, and she was so scared, and she was very teary, and she didn't think she could do it, but she really needed to leave. Not a good situation. And the woman across the table from her had was on the other side of her divorce dealing with issues. And the first woman, the new woman, said, "I just don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I'm so scared." And the other woman leaned across the table, patted her arm, and said, "You can do it. You can do it." And a year later, woman number one said, "Oh my gosh, I'm the person now leaning across the table to the new person going, 'You can do it. You can do it.'"
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories. I love that story.
Well, and that fits so much into my quote that as you know, I'm trying to get this book out, and I have changed it a lot since you read it. But anyway, my very favorite quote is, when you get to where you're going, look behind you and help her too, because there wasn't that long ago when she was you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, isn't that great?
That's
So that is just like so perfect. I don't know who wrote it. I didn't, but it's kind of that same, like what you're saying, that woman just is helping someone else. And of course, whether it's divorce or whatever it is, it's just helping. We all want to help each other. But okay, so I'm getting ready to have my 62nd wedding anniversary.
Oh,
And I
congratulations.
know, but I always say, how can you live with somebody that long and still like them? It's like you can love. I mean, I believe the whole love thing, but that's another whole thing. And we still really do like each other. But so it's very unusual. I mean, every anniversary, I just think, how does this happen? But I am such a firm believer, and have been over the years, with my friends or anybody that I know that talks about divorce. I am so behind it because, and I'm 84. You can imagine how many women I've seen over the years that should have gotten divorced
Mhm.
and didn't, and they wasted so many years. And then a good friend of mine just got divorced the other day at 72, Barb. And I'm
Oh,
so, we were in a group of people and I said, oh my gosh, congratulations. And this woman looked at me and she said, how can you say congratulations on somebody that just got a divorce? And I said, because it should have happened a long time ago. I mean, it's like women, I think, do you agree with this, that women now are really starting to get more independent, stand up for themselves, and of course, a lot of women, Barb, have that financial problem where they can't afford to get divorced, right?
yes, yes, that just breaks my heart when that
I know
happens.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does mine too.
There are resources out there now to help women that have that struggle. Um, I can't remember the name of the place, but you can find resources if you need to leave and you're not sure. They help you find a job, they help you create a resume, they help you, do all these things that you need to do to get yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because lots of people, women have been working, but it's been at home,
Yeah, yeah,
or part-time, or it's been a long time ago. They haven't need to go back. They need to go back to school, or they need to. It's very. It's a. I don't know. It's a challenging journey. I don't like that word, but it's the word I'll use.
well, but
It's
it
tough.
is challenging. But you know what's happening now, I think, is that we're seeing all kinds of ads for senior jobs, people wanting to, you know, I was at a party the other night and this young woman said to me, I'm waiting for a promotion. And I said, what are you waiting for? She says, for some of the older people to retire so I can move up the ladder. They're not retiring. Anyway, I do think there's a lot, Barb, out there, a lot of jobs now for older women that they can
Mhm.
go out and get and make some money. Now, the exciting thing is that you have become, Rediscovering You has become a part of Aging But Dangerous. And that's very exciting. And the reason is because to me, Rediscovering You is not just about divorce. It's about rediscovering who you are. I mean, whether you're married or not married, it's like, rediscovering yourself. And I love that name, but I think it goes much deeper. Do you feel that way?
Oh, the same thing, because I was thinking about this before I got on the call, that you offer so many wonderful adventures, and
Mhm.
what the most amazing adventure is rediscovering who you are,
Yes,
wherever you are in life and whatever your situation is. Just
exactly.
there's always something new in there to rediscover. It's just
Yes,
very exciting.
yes. It is. And women are really starting to grab a hold of that, I think. I don't know. Aging But Dangerous has been around now for 15 years. I'm seeing such a change, Barb, in women and their thinking, and they're not getting so upset about getting older now as they did 15 years ago. I think a lot has changed in the last 15 years. Do you think?
I think so too, because I'm like, I kind of work it now that I'm mature. I'm like, I
Yeah,
work it, I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
really? Well, oh, well, I do that.
I know. Yeah,
But
I know.
it's, life is still wide open for so many of us, for which I'm very grateful every day. Very
Yeah.
grateful about
I
that.
am too.
Yeah.
And the only time I use my age is like if I'm having trouble with someone or, computer things or something, I'm calling someone, I'll go like, listen, I'm 84 years old. Don't understand.
Yeah, yeah,
And of
yeah,
course,
that's what I
it's
mean.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
go for it. Yeah.
I know it. That's the only time I use my age, and it's like, oh my gosh, they just instantly soften up and oh, we'll help
Oh,
you. I'm sure they're envisioning a little crippled little old lady on a walker that can't think anything. So yeah, I mean, we have just changed that. Everything has changed so much, and so much of it is a part of women like you. I mean, your books. We've got to get your books on our website. And I need to get that from you, but we need to get your books out there for women. And boy, women like you are just making such a difference, such a difference. And we just need more of them. And I think it is happening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for being on, and I'm so glad that now, where do you live? You're down in,
I moved from the Minneapolis area and now I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
oh, that's right, Albuquerque. Do you love it down there?
I I do. It took a little bit, it took a little bit. But my older daughter's down here, and she had been asking me for years and years and years to come. And one gloomy April day or March day, she said, "Oh, we're on the phone." She said, "It's getting too hot in the front yard. I'm going to have to go in the back where the shade is." I was like, "Okay, I'll come." But
Yeah,
the people are wonderful. The scenery is spectacular. The history is
yeah.
rich. It's quite wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about that. I've heard a lot of good things about that city. Do you just have one daughter?
I have two.
Two
My
daughters.
younger
And are they
daughter,
married? Are they happily married or?
they both married amazing young men. Well, I think
Okay,
they're young, but their husbands are amazing, both of them.
okay, good, good.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
glad. Well, you're the mother, you raised them, so.
uh,
That's why, I said to somebody not long ago, I have two granddaughters who are teenagers, and they were like, I said, they don't judge me. And I said, that's the way their mother raised them. And my friend looked at me and said, yeah, and who raised the daughter? Not who raised the
uh,
mother, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah, I
yeah.
raised my daughter, and that was the one thing I was so insistent on, was just not judging people. And now she's got two daughters and she's raised them the same. So I thought that was interesting. We do make a difference, Barb. We do make a difference.
Yes, we do. We
Okay,
don't always give ourselves credit, though,
I
for
know,
doing
I
that.
know.
But
That's true. Yeah. All right, my darling. Thank you so much. I am so glad you were able to do this, because we've been wanting to get this on for a long time. So we will put your books on, and we will, this video is going to be great for people to refer to, and we'll put all your information on there.
thank you so much. It was just a joy. You inspire me tremendously. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Mutual admiration.
You got it.
All right, Barb, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye.